in the northern end of town at the Texas Station Gambling Hall and Hotel, where David Tua will try to secure a second shot at the heavyweight title. Tonight, the big men of boxing on parade as we present a heavyweight doubleheader. In our main event, number 5 rated David Tua takes on number 3 contender Donnell Nicholson in an IBF heavyweight elimination fight to determine who's number 1. And in our co-feature, you'll see one of the most talked about heavyweights of late, the Black Rhino, Clifford Etienne, go against undefeated Oquendo in a scheduled 10-round attraction. Packed house on hand, over 2,000. We welcome you to the Dallas Event Center for a Crossroads heavyweight matchup. The last time David Tua fought in Las Vegas, he went bust, losing a lethargic 12-round decision to heavyweight champion Lennox Lewis in November. A victory tonight could put him right back in the title hunt. Hello again, everybody. Steve Albert ringside from Las Vegas. When David Tua challenged Lennox Lewis last November, he was considered the most deserving contender in the world. But after a reasonably effective start, he never threatened the champion, losing virtually every round en route to a one-sided decision loss. Tua's corner initially blamed an injury that was aggravated early in the fight. However, at a chunky 245 pounds and coming off a handful of ridiculously easy wins that were meant to kill time until his title shot, was Tua properly prepared, or was it inevitable that he'd be outclassed by Lewis, who enjoyed a 15-inch reach advantage? Now tonight, the number 5 ranked Tua faces number 3 rated Donnell Nicholson to reestablish himself as a legitimate contender in a lackluster heavyweight division. With that, let me bring on my ringside partner, former world champion Bobby Ches. And Bobby, what the heck happened against Lennox Lewis, and how has this affected Tua's confidence and stature in the division?
Well, Steve, after talking with Lennox Lewis, he did indeed confirm that the ribs were re-injured, previously done in training camp. But he said that wasn't the biggest problem. His biggest factor for losing that fight and looking so bad is that he had one fight plan. And when that plan didn't work, he had no plan B. He had no backup plan. The corner couldn't make the adjustments. He couldn't make the adjustments. Thus, a very long, sorry fight. He did not look good throughout the entire fight because he just couldn't make the adjustments. What happened after that is he fired his trainer. He had a wake-up call, got back to basics, and now has a renewed confidence, believes he can do much better.
We'll have more on that later. But in your opinion, was Tua coddled and babied too much in terms of opposition leading up to the Lewis fight?
You know, early on, Tua fought everybody. Moskaev, David Izon, Ike Ibiabuchi, John Ruiz, Rockman. That's the top talent in the division. But as he secured that number 1 spot, he coasted. He took easy opponents to not jeopardize that number 1 ranking. He should have fought someone just like Donnell Nicholson, because Nicholson, tall, rangy, same style, might have prepared him much better.
Well, they might have felt that he was a little too dangerous going into the Lewis fight, but he's got him tonight. Before we get to David Tua, you'll see the Showtime debut of a contender who some feel could be the future of the heavyweight division. He's power puncher Clifford Etienne, and he is waiting in the wings. But first, a reminder. We invite Showtime subscribers with internet access to score tonight's bouts online in the boxing area at show.com. Your vote will instantly update the webpage, and the results will be announced later on in this telecast. Online scoring will not influence the outcome of the fight and is only available to viewers of our East Coast live feed. So to score tonight's fights and to learn more about upcoming Showtime boxing events, log on to show.com. Once again, the web address is sho.com. All right, let's get to it. We close in on our first fight as rising star and WBC number 4 heavyweight contender. Clifford, the Black Rhino Etienne, takes on Oquendo in a matchup of undefeateds. Etienne from the Louisiana Bayou is one of the most intriguing fighters in the heavyweight division. It was one of the most exciting fights of last year, and when Clifford Etienne beat Lawrence Claybay in a 10-round unanimous decision, he became a legitimate player in the heavyweight division. Growing up, Etienne had no aspirations to become a fighter. Instead, he was heavily recruited to play football by such universities as Oklahoma and Texas A&M. But after an arrest for armed robbery, he was sentenced to 40 years in a Louisiana state penitentiary.
We did things, things I don't like to talk about now, because that's really my past, committed on robberies, committed crimes. This is a bad way to learn a lesson, doing 10 years of your life, behind bars, but that's a lesson well taken.
It was there he learned how to box.
It just gave me something to really focus on and not be around knuckleheads all day and stuff like that, you know. I realized that I was pretty good, getting pretty good when nobody wanted to fight me anymore. And I won the Louisiana Department of Corrections heavyweight title in my second fight.
After a decade behind bars, he was released, and at the age of 28, he began his professional boxing career, compiling a perfect 19-0 record and earning the nickname the Black Rhino for his aggressive win-at-any-cost style.
You know, I believe boxing is a battle of the fittest, you know. Why play around, hold on, hug, and everything else? Let's get it over with.
Clifford Etienne's goal is to become the heavyweight champion of the world. But with his efforts to lead a clean and legitimate life, he may have already won his most important victory.
When I think about the past and where I've been and what I've been through and where I am now, I feel good, man. I feel real proud.
Six-to-1 favorite. Clifford Etienne fighting tonight for the first time with a pain-free right elbow. Recently had surgery to remove bone chips and says he can throw even harder now. A style predicated on raw power, strength, and aggression. His impressive decision over previously unbeaten boxer mover Lawrence Claybay on the Louis Tua card, a candidate for Fight of the Year. And although Etienne often rained punches and punished Claybay, he couldn't stop him. Bobby, will Oquendo pose problems with his jab, his movement, and overall boxing skills?
Well, good boxers can always pose problems for good punchers if they're effective, if they're really that good. But the problem is they also have to have some power to get some respect. Claybay, a good boxer with some pop, still didn't have enough to keep the Black Rhino off. It could be a very long night for Oquendo.
Etienne feels he's not getting the respect he deserves for his own boxing ability. And here is Fred Oquendo, unrated, trained by Felix Trinidad Sr., who Oquendo says has raised his confidence, emotion, and conditioning to another level. 93 National Golden Gloves champion. His wins over former world amateur champ Ramon Garbey and previously unbeaten Duncan Dokawari, a 96 Olympic bronze medalist. Also has wins over veterans Everett, Bigfoot Martin, Phil Jackson, and Bert Cooper. Oquendo, nothing spectacular, Bobby, but gets the job done. Usually out-hustles opponents, but his chin a question mark. He will go down.
Well, I'll tell you, Steve, from what I've seen of the Black Rhino, he has a lot of the goods, and he's going to test Oquendo's chin early and as often as possible. If the chin's not good, this fight could be short.
As we check the numbers, let's go to the tail of the tape. Etienne at 31, 4 years older than Oquendo. Both stand at 6'2". Oquendo with the big 7-inch reach advantage. At yesterday's weigh-in, Etienne 225, Oquendo 221. And the key rules for this fight. There's no standing 8 count, no 3 knockdown rule. A fighter cannot be saved by the bell in any round. If an accidental headbutt occurs before the end of the 4th round, the fighters ruled a no contest. If it happens after the end of round 4, they go to the scorecards. So here at Texas Station, we're getting ready for Clifford Etienne versus Fred Oquendo. We get the formal introductions from our ring announcer, Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to you, and we welcome you to the Texas Station Gambling Hall and Hotel in North Las Vegas, Nevada, as we have a big night of action coming away, and it's all brought to you by America Presents in association with Showtime Championship Boxing and the Station Casinos, the leading entertainment company in Las Vegas. This bout coming away also brought to you by Rhino Promotions and is sanctioned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission. The chairman is Dr. Elias Ghanem. Physicians are Dr. James Game, Dr. Jeff Davidson, Dr. Gino Signorino, and our timekeepers at the bell also keeping count of the knockdowns, Jane Broadfoot and Mike Lachella. Our 3 judges at ringside, all 3 from Las Vegas, Nevada. We have Dave Moretti, Dalby Shirley, and Glenn Trowbridge. And the 3rd man to the ring, the referee in charge of this bout, Jay Nady. All right, fans, here we go. Undefeated heavyweights in the ring, the big boys of boxing, and a special attraction scheduled for 10 rounds of action. Introducing to you first on my right, he is fighting out of the blue corner, wearing gray trunks with white trim, fighting out of Chicago, Illinois, by way of San Juan, Puerto Rico. He weighed in at 221 pounds, undefeated in his campaign to the ring with 19 wins, no losses, 10 wins coming by way of knockout. Please welcome a fighter they call the Big O, Fres Oquendo. And his opponent across the ring on my left, he is ready to fight out of the red corner, wearing black trunks, fighting out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. He weighed in at 225 pounds. His impressive record stands at 19 wins, no losses, 13 big wins coming by way of knockout. Please welcome the WBC #4 heavyweight in the world, introducing the undefeated Clifford, the Black Rhino Etienne. Once again, a referee in charge is Jay Nady, now to give instructions, 10 rounds of boxing schedule.